Okay, welcome back to our afternoon session. Uh, just a quick review ng morning session natin. We discussed a lot about uh, introduction to applications and use cases of Q, pati na rin yung ilang mga uh, concepts that I think are relevant for us, particularly map projections tsaka coordinate reference systems. Again, if you have any questions, open lang yung chat, raise your hand, or write them down dun sa document natin. First part of this afternoon session, we'll focus on yung last topic around geospatial that I think is very relevant to anyone doing geospatial work. And that is spatial data types. Essentially, kung ano yung bumubuo sa ating mga um, layers, pati na rin sa ating mga analysis. Right? So, rasters, vectors, and other things. First of all, let's discuss what spatial data models are and why they are important. Kung babalikan natin yung pinakauna nating sinabi at the start of this, isa sa mga pinakauna nating sinabi at the start of the training, we said we can think of everything as a layer, which is why at its core, a GIS and other geospatial technologies must be able to model yung mga real-world objects na to as layers. So this could be your boundaries, your rivers, your roads, the kung ano man yung kailangan nyo for your analysis, right? This is done with the use of yung ating spatial data models, right? When it comes to composition, ano yung nagmi-make up sa ating spatial data models, it's always composed of two primary components, right? Na pag pinagsama natin, minomodel niya yung real world. Una dito ay yung spatial features, ito yung geometry. Ito yung nagsasabi kung ano yung hugis ng feature na yon, ano yung area of coverage niya, nasaan siya sa mundo. Yun yung first part. Yung second part naman ay yung ating mga attributes. So ito naman yung nagsasabi kung ano yung impormasyon na nakakaakibat or nakakabit dun sa ating spatial information. For vectors, napakadali lang nilang kumbaga i-visualize. Meron tayo ditong geometry ng mga rehiyon sa Pilipinas. Meron tayong ditong table kung saan linilista natin yung pangalan ng region, pati na rin yung kanyang standard geographic code. Pag pinagsama natin silang dalawa, kung saan ang isang row sa ating table ay magpe-pertain or nakakonect sa isang feature sa ating geometry, namo-model natin yung mga regions or indicative administrative boundary regions sa Pilipinas. Right? So for vectors madali lang, 'di ba? Sa rasters Ben, paano naman 'to nangyayari? So we'll find out in a bit na yung rasters naman ito ay mga pixel-based representation ng mundo. So dito kung titingnan mo na ganun yung raster, para siyang checkered board kung saan bawat cell or bawat square dun sa board merong value. Yung spatial feature mo dun ay yung cell, yung raster cell or yung square. Tas yung attribute mo ay yung value nun. So whether it's an elevation raster, it's a flood hazard raster, it's a temperature raster, yung value dun sa cell, yun yung attribute mo. Yung cell itself, kasama na yung kanyang laki, kasama na yung kanyang location, yun yung iyong geometry. So, na-mention ka na yung dalawa, yung raster tsaka vector. Hopefully, um, some of you already have experience with rasters and vectors. If not, this would be a good uh, time to learn about yung rasters tsaka vectors. I-differentiate, ito compare natin sila in a bit. Pero it's important for you to know na kahit anong data natin, pwede natin siyang i-represent either as raster or vector, meron pa ring mas better na representation. Depende yan sa ating use case, depende yan sa application na ginagawa natin. Pero there's always something na mas better yung na choice, right? Kasi halimbawa, yung flood hazard, yung population density, pwede natin silang i-represent as vectors, pwede natin silang i-represent as rasters, pero depende sa type of analysis na gagawin natin, mas mainam na gawin natin silang vector or gawin natin silang raster. Okay? Talk about those two basic kinds of geospatial data. I say basic kasi matututunan nyo as you work with Q, napakarami pang geospatial datasets na available. Hindi lang, well, technically rasters at vectors sila at its core, pero the way we interact with them gets more advanced as we go along sa uh, journey natin sa QGIS. Let's talk first about rasters. And again, this distinction is very important, so take note of this. Yung rasters natin, madalas natin gamitin if we want to represent continuous phenomena. Continuous meaning anywhere, kung nasa isang lugar ako, anywhere natatayo ako, merong observation sa area na yun. Kaya nga madalas siyang gamitin sa elevation, right? Kahit saan ako tumayo, merong corresponding elevation yung area na yun. Temperature, kahit saan ako tumayo sa isang lugar, merong possible temperature reading sa lugar na yun, right? It's a cell-based or pixel-based representation of real-world objects. So, ganun lang siya. Meron kang rows, meron kang columns. Yung isang cell mo is located based on kung saang row tsaka column siya nahanap. And yung value ng cell mo is yung value ng raster. Right? This value can range from different uh, um, different formats, could pertain to different things. Pero yung limitation ng raster, it can only hold one value at a single time. Right? So, paano naman yung mga paano pala ginagawa yung mga rasters kung saan may color? Sometimes, for satellite imagery, for example, yes, Lulay, may question?
Wala po, sir.
Kala Sige, okay lang. So for example, what if paano naman yung satellite imagery, ano yung ginagawa nila doon? Well, those are still rasters. Only that they're multi-band rasters. Meaning, meron kang isang band or isang part ng raster kung saan yung values niya puro lang nagpe-pertain sa red, yung isa naman sa green, yung isa naman sa blue. Tapos pag kinumbine natin sila, nagkakaroon tayo ng color composite. Kaya nagkakaroon ng kulay. When in fact, if you look at the data itself, it's not a color value. It's a 0 to 255 grayscale value kadalasan, right? So yun yung limitation naman ng raster. A raster can only have one value. At the same time, usually, especially pag hindi complicated yung geometry ng isang vector, mas malaki yung file size ng rasters kaysa sa kanila. The reason for that is because rasters, being cell-based, kahit walang value dun sa cell, kailangan silang i-store ng computer mo. Right? So for example, let's have a quick drawing. Right? So you have this, let's assume this is your raster. Right? Nagpe-pertain siya sa ating uh, area of interest, right? Yeah. So when we have a raster, we have our area of interest right here. Pag isi-save natin yung area of interest na to, i-display siya as a raster. Even though itong mga cells na to, ito, right? Ito, 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 ito. Kahit sila walang values, right? Kailangan pa rin silang i-store nung nung raster sa storage. So nagti-take rin pa rin sila ng space. That's why normally, yun nga, mas malaki, especially kung hindi complicated yung geometry ng vector. Mas malaki yung size ng mga rasters natin. Kasi lahat yun, kahit yung mga null or at blank values, kailangan nilang i-save. At the same time, mapapansin nyo na uh, when we have this and then we want to have a raster, mas precise din or less precise yung raster kaysa sa vector. Kasi yung raster representation ng shape na to would be yung raster representation ng shape na to would be itong mga to. So itong tatlong to, for example, oops, sorry. Ito, yan, yan, yan. Yang mga yan yung magiging representation niya. So for example, ito ma-fill up to, ito rin kasi sama siya. Ito rin kasi sama siya. Yan. So papansinin niyo, ito yung magiging representation niyo nung area na yon. Right? Yan yung raster representation mo nung area na yan. And kung titingnan mo, compared dito sa original natin, right? Hindi siya as precise. Kasi kailangan niyang mag-fit dun sa cells natin. Hindi pwedeng part lang nung cell yung yung pupunuin niya. Yung buong cell dapat. So rasters are also normally less precise than a vector representation. Which leads us dun sa vectors natin, right? Vectors naman are best to represent discrete objects. So pag gusto mo siyang i-represent as point, polygon, line, yun madalas yung gamit natin sa vectors. They also have distinct advantages then over rasters dahil nga sa fact na um, sila ay modeled using well-defined coordinates. Madalas, kung kailangan natin ng mas accurate na area computation, distance computations, paggagamitin natin sa network analysis, vectors yung gamit natin, right? Again, another advantage, they're aside from being more precise, as long as hindi sobrang complicated yung geometry mo, mas magiging maliit yung representation or yung size ng isang vector compared sa isang raster. And the vector is just that. You have your shapes, in this case yung Philippine provinces. Each feature in your geometry corresponds to one row in your attribute table and vice versa. Okay? Any questions on rasters and vectors? Sila yung foundation ng lahat ng data na uh, that you'll work with in geospatial. So understanding what's possible with a raster, what's possible with a vector, ano yung tools na pwede mong gamitin sa rasters versus sa vectors will immensely help you with uh, trying to create workflows, trying to do analysis, and even trying to create maps or visualizations. Kasi some visualizations aren't possible with rasters, only with vectors, and vice versa. Right? Any questions dun sa dalawang basic data types natin, rasters tsaka vectors? Right? Just ask kung meron. I'll give you around a minute. Okay? Clear tayo? Okay, if we're clear on that, let's talk about other types of data that you might encounter. Aside from rasters and vectors, you'll eventually start working with tiles, databases, web services, point clouds, and even mesh data. Uh, so for this course, we'll look at how to connect with or how to load these kinds of data. Yung iba wala tayong specific examples. For example, point clouds tsaka mesh, wala naman tayong specific examples for that. But the process by overloading them is the same regardless of what kind of data they are. Yung styling though might be different, right? But for connecting or loading to data sources, loading or connecting to data sources, halos pare-pareho lang yung way ni Q on how to do that. And we'll discuss that um, as we go along with that sa training. This afternoon, yun yung discussion natin primarily. Okay? So any questions for our discussion on sa lahat na actually yung geospatial concepts.